Ever find yourself, like, feeling drained after hanging out with certain people?
Hmm.
Like, their negativity is just, like, contagious.
Oh, totally.
We're diving into some ancient Buddhist wisdom today
Okay.
that explains why this happens.
It's wild how, like, we all kind of know, like, you are the company you keep, right?
Right.
But the source, like, really digs into the why.
Oh, interesting.
It's this ancient concept of the foolish person,
Yeah.
or, fan?
That sounds kind of intense. So, who is this foolish person exactly? What's surprising is it's not about intelligence, which you might think.
Yeah, no, it's way deeper. The source talks about them having, like, clouded minds.
Clouded minds.
Meaning, like, their perception of reality is kind of, distorted, and this affects, like, their judgment, values, how they even see right and wrong.
So it's like that friend who's always justifying shady stuff, like it's no big deal to betray someone's trust, or they brag about cutting corners. Not about being book smart. It's that gut sense of right and wrong. Yeah.
Totally. There's this example in the source. It talks about how someone with this clouded mind, they might see someone like working their butt off to build a business, and instead of feeling inspired, they get jealous and resentful.
Oh, wow.
Their perception's clouded by like negativity.
That's really interesting because it shows how subtle this cloudiness can be,
Yeah.
right? It's not always huge bad choices.
Right.
It's this underlying negativity.
Yeah, and that's where it gets important. This isn't about like writing people off, judging them as bad.
Right.
It's about understanding how this cloudiness drives their actions. And that often, unfortunately, leads to stuff that harms them and the people around them.
So not labeling, but spotting the pattern.
Right.
How do we actually see these foolish tendencies in action then?
Yeah.
Got to be more than just finding someone annoying, right?
Oh, for sure. The source gives some clear signs.
Okay.
Like one big one is this tendency to lead others astray.
Okay.
Think peer pressure, doing something you know is wrong, but it seems fun at the time.
Like that friend who's always down for skipping work, even if you have a big deadline. They just want to have fun now.
Exactly. And it's not just big life stuff either.
Oh, right.
The source even says, like, small daily actions can reflect this.
Really?
Like something as simple as littering, even,
Huh. Interesting.
yeah, even that can be connected.
Littering, I never would have connected that to this whole clouded mind thing.
Yeah.
How does the source link them?
So it comes down to like a lack of consideration for others.
Okay.
Like zero regard for the collective good.
Right.
The source says someone with this clouded mind is so stuck in their own little world,
Mm-hmm.
they miss how their actions impact like everyone else.
So it's like, I want to walk to the trash can, but who cares about the mess I make for everyone else, right?
Exactly. The source has another example that like really drives this home. It talks about how someone with clouded thinking might like refuse to help a family member in need,
Oh, wow.
even if it's like no big deal for them to do.
Yeah. So they'd rather stay comfy than help someone out, even family.
Hmm.
It is kind of disturbing when you think about it.
Right. And the source is clear. Like we all have these cloudy moments.
Yeah, that's true.
It's human, but it's on us to, recognize the pattern.
Be aware, then make a better choice next time.
Exactly.
What about when we do see it in ourselves, though? Like, it can be so knee-jerk. Someone gives advice, even good advice, and I get defensive.
No, that's another big one the source calls out.
Really?
Yeah, it says someone with a clouded mind will like shoot down any advice or criticism.
Right.
They take it as a personal attack, not a chance to grow.
Who are you to tell me?
Yeah,
Even when deep down you know they're kind of right.
totally. And the source's explanation for this is so insightful.
Okay, what is it?
It says foolish behavior often comes from like deep down insecurity, fear of not being good enough.
So it's not the advice itself, it's how it makes them feel about themselves.
Exactly. And seeing that difference is huge for breaking free.
Okay, so less about the advice, more about the insecurity it triggers.
Right. It's realizing those reactions, they're coming from fear, not logic.
This is like a whole mirror to how our minds work. The parts we don't want to admit are there.
That's it. It's uncomfortable, but facing those shadows, that's how we grow.
Hmm.
And the source says we're not stuck with these patterns.
Oh, good.
We have the power to change.
So there's hope. But how? How do we break out of this foolishness and actually, like, be better?
Well, it's not. Like, one quick trick.
Right.
The source talks about it as building up inner strengths, certain qualities.
Inner strengths, like what,
Yeah.
give me an example. Inner strengths, almost like building mental muscle, right? What kind of qualities are we talking about here?
Perfect analogy. The source gets specific. It's like three main ones: generosity, ethical conduct, and meditation.
Huh. Kind of classic virtues.
Right. but the source connects them directly to overcoming this foolishness.
Okay, break it down for me. Generosity.
Mm,
I guess if you're focused outward, giving, you're less likely to get stuck in your own head, your own needs.
exactly. It's like the source says generosity fights greed and envy, right? Which, let's be real, those fuel a lot of foolish stuff.
Makes sense.
When we're being generous, we start seeing the world differently. Like it's a place of abundance, not scarcity.
The more you give, the more you receive, kind of
Mm.
thing. And not just material stuff, I guess, but that energy.
Totally. And that ties right into ethical conduct, the second one. Living by your values, the source says, that's huge for a clear mind.
Okay, yeah, if you're always going against what you believe,
Yeah.
doing stuff you know is wrong, that's going to mess you up inside.
It's like you chip away at your own self-worth, then bam, you're way more easily influenced to do more dumb stuff.
So generosity, ethical living, those are two. And the third was meditation, right? How's that fit in?
Big time. The source is like all about the power of meditation, specifically to build that awareness we were talking about before.
Right.
It's like meditation is the mental gym. You learn to like watch your thoughts and feelings, no judgment.
Oh,
You see those cloudy patterns as they pop up.
and then what? You choose how to react differently.
That's it. So it's not some weird mystical thing. It's a tool to deal with life.
Totally. I like that. More grounded, less reactive. That's what we all want.
It's building that mental muscle for sure.
This is great, but let's be real. We can't always just meditate our way out of every bad situation, right?
Yep.
Like jobs, family. Some people are always going to be around, even if they're not great for us.
True. And the source is realistic about that. It actually uses a powerful image. It says, being around someone with these foolish tendencies. It's like being exposed to a contagious illness.
Whoa, okay. Got to protect yourself or you'll get sick too.
Exactly. Build up your mental immune system, basically.
How do we do that?
It goes right back to what we were saying. Generosity, ethical conduct, meditation. Those aren't just for you. They're like an energy shield against the negativity.
So the stronger I am, the less some jerk's bad vibes can affect me.
You got it. You can still feel them, but you don't get totally pulled in.
Okay, I could see that. But what if it's really bad? Like someone is constantly trying to drag you into drama. Our best isn't always enough.
Yeah, tough spot. The source is straight up about this. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for both of you is create distance.
Like walk away.
Yep. Sometimes it even means less contact, or like really strong boundaries.
Ugh, that's hard, especially with people we care about. Feels confrontational.
Super tough, but the source reminds us we can't fix people if they're not going to do the work.
Right. Not my responsibility to save everyone.
Exactly. Sometimes giving them space, it's the best thing, even if it's hard on us in the short term.
Man, this has been so insightful, I gotta say. Really makes you think.
Me too. It's like this ancient stuff, it's so relevant, even now.
And the best part is, we have a choice, right? Like, we can work on ourselves, set those boundaries.
And build a life we actually want. It's not easy, but it's possible.
I love that. We're all gonna mess up sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
But coming from a place of kindness to ourselves and others,
Yeah.
that's the goal, right?
Could not have said it better myself.
Well, on that note, gotta wrap up this deep dive. But keep thinking about this stuff. What really hit home for you today? How are you gonna apply these ideas? Let us know. Until next time, keep diving deep.